All for one, and more for me. The Three Musketeers, released in 1993 and is directed by Stephen Herrick, Stephen the Children, who has also directed such films like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, The Mighty Ducks, Mr. Holland's Opus, the live remake of 101 Dalmatians, and Rockstar. Apparently, Stephen was huge during the 90s. A lot of big movies, at least for me in my childhood. And this movie is starring Charlie Sheen, Kiefer Sutherland, Chris O'Donnell, Oliver Platt, Rebecca De Mornay, and Tim Curry, based on the classic novel from Alexander Dumas. And I don't know how he would have felt about a French tale being like hardcore Americanized, but this is the definition of Americanizing a foreign tale. Hardcore. A young, skilled swordsman by the name of D'Artagnan is making his way to Paris, France to carry on his father's footsteps and become a musketeer, who are the personal bodyguards of the King of France. However, Cardinal Richelieu, played by Tim Curry, has ordered all the musketeers to be disbanded in order for them to help with the coming war with England. However, there are three musketeers who refuse the call: Athos, Porthos, and Aramis, and they continue to refuse the disbandment because they expect the Cardinal is up to no good. D'Artagnan soon joins their company, and all four of them uncover a plot to assassinate the King of France at his next birthday celebration. So 1993, I was a young child of 4, probably 5 by the time I started watching this on VHS, and this was one of the movies that I would watch over and over and over again because it had sword fighting. That is all I needed as a kid. A movie with sword fighting, and I'm sitting my ass down. You don't need to worry about me. You don't need to keep checking up on me. I'm here. I'm going to be watching this movie, probably doing my own little sword moves in the middle of the living room. I'll be fine. I'll be good for the day. This was probably my favorite one out of all of them, other than, Star Wars, but those are laser swords. This is actual steel on steel shit. And then a couple of years later, I realized that the guy who plays D'Artagnan, Chris O'Donnell, is Robin. And Robin is my favorite character in comics, so yeah, he's gonna be my favorite in both movies, right? Watching it back for this review, I realized that Chris O'Donnell is one very stiff, bland, vanilla actor. No nuances, no fun little character choices. It's all just, here are my lines, and I'm gonna say them as broad-chested and heroic as possible. Which I guess that's the character of D'Artagnan. But still, he's so rigid. He reminds me a lot of Orlando Bloom from the Pirates movies. So deliberate in every line that he says, and just everything is going over this character's head, and I think everything is going over the actor's head as well. But probably the main thing that stood out for me this time, I knew he was great back in the 90s when I watched this movie on repeat, but watching it today, Tim Curry as Cardinal Richelieu is one of the best villains ever. First off, the costume, the red silk gown, the cape, everything looks amazing. Whenever he walks by, he fluffs it out and it just engulfs the entire hallway that he's walking down. He looks awesome. And then you just add, it's Tim Curry performing in the role, and it's amazing. That can be arranged! And his whole conspiracy to kill the king and then become the King of France himself and enter into a treaty, a deal with the Duke of Buckingham. It's one very elaborate plot that, when foiled, still doesn't throw this guy. At the very end, they say, well, the treaty never made it. And in his wisdom, he says, a minor problem. I shall return twice as strong. And then overthrown by Charlie Sheen, who is a man of God in this movie. I tried saying that with a straight face. I can't say it. As a kid, I didn't know anything about Charlie Sheen or his lifestyle or who he was as a person. Hell, I don't think a lot of people did know outside of his immediate circle of what type of a person he was. But gosh, after the whole 2.5 Men situation, and then everything coming out about him in the 2000s, watching it now, Charlie Sheen is Aramis, who is the man of God, who is praying for the souls of everyone that he kills. It's hilarious! And then Kiefer Sutherland is here doing his Kiefer Sutherland thing and dramatically, loudly whispering, because that makes everything more dramatic, boy. Gosh, it's like he was Batman before Christian Bale was Batman. Jeez. Which is also funny, because around this time, Christian Bale was in Newsies dancing his little heart away. I love Disney and how they manufacture actors. And Oliver Platt, who I think was my favorite as a kid because he had all the gadgets, he had all the cool little devices, and he had all the fun little phrases. One of the guards who knows Kung Fu is doing all this fun, wacky, wild swordsmanship, and Oliver Platt just responds with going, and then cuts the rope and he falls down into the pit. It's great. I hadn't seen this movie in years, and come to think of it, I do own it on DVD. I think this is the first time that I've seen it in widescreen presentation. Because on the full screen, on the VHS, we had the big plastic containers, you all know what those look like. I remember certain camera cuts and camera angles where someone would be talking, but we're focusing on someone's reaction. We're not seeing them at all. Here in widescreen, we see them talking, speaking the line, and we see their reaction. It's, wow, what a trip widescreen is. Why did we ever do full screen as a society? Back in VHSs, why did we do that? I'm sure there's a film buff out there who's going to correct me, so I do look forward to reading that, actually. This movie is a ton of fun. Is it without its flaws? Absolutely not. Something that I actually remember seeing as a kid, whenever we get the horse chases, D'Artagnan is running away from the very pale gentleman who speak very high, D'Artagnan! During that whole horse chase, if it cuts in between, and you can see there are times where D'Artagnan has his gold sword, and then there are times where that sword is not there. Like when he's about to jump, sword, not there, but then you cut back to another angle of it, and hey, the sword hilt is there. I'm sure it was a safety thing or a stunt issue thing, but it's one of the biggest continuity errors that I remember seeing ever in film, and it bugs me to this day. I don't know how accurate this is to the Alexander Dumas novel. I'm sure it's not at all. I'm pretty sure that this is a Disney-ified version of that classic tale, plus we just import all these American actors. Yes, there are some people in there with English accents, which, again, don't really make that much sense because it's France. They should be speaking French or have French accents. But here are four, like, hardcore Americans, no British accents, no French accents, it's all American. But still, it's awesome. I think this movie is trying very, very hard to be Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves that came out a couple of years before. Even ending on a note of a Bryan Adams song that both movies did. Just how blatant plagiarism and attempts to copy can you have in a movie? I don't care though, Robin Hood is awesome, Three Musketeers is still awesome in my book. And heck, even if you've never seen it before and you watched it for the very first time today, I still think you would find a lot of enjoyment out of it. If my selling of it hasn't done it for you, then just watch Charlie Sheen as a man of God. So much enjoyment from that, come on. I'm gonna give the Three Musketeers 4 out of 5 Blu-rays.
I like it a lot.
Alright everyone, now comes my favorite part of my video is where I pick which movie I'm going to be watching next, and the next one I'm actually hand-selecting because it was a recommendation from one of my coworkers, Josh Buck, who said, hey, your 420th review is coming up, are you going to be doing The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? Because I guess the secret to everything, or the answer to every life question, is the number 42. So, I mean, either I do it now or I'm going to have to wait for episode 4200 for me to do it again. So, next time we're going to be checking out The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, something I've never seen before, but I've always heard about, and I think this is like this is based on a book, right? I think Christopher Lloyd is in this movie. Doc Brown, maybe, I don't know. I feel like I remember seeing him on the poster, so I'm going to go with it. Christopher Lloyd is in the movie. I think he plays like the old wise man helping our young hero through the thing. Whatever it is, I don't know. Again, I haven't seen it, but we'll check it out next time. If any of you have recommendations of films that you want me to review on here, you can make a PayPal donation on the main page of my YouTube channel. Any size donation will do, just attach your movie recommendation with your donation, and if I have access to it, I will watch it, review it, give you a shout out on the channel, and get my review of it published as quickly as I possibly can. So guys, if you've seen The Three Musketeers, what did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before, and you stumbled across because of this video, then comment below, let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell so you'll know the next time I'm releasing my next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time with my review of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. So in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.